Hello and welcome to another live broadcast. My name is Tula Tzoras, and what we're going to talk about is power through powerlessness. And, powerlessness, hopelessness, loneliness, worthlessness, all those words ending in S plague humanity. So tonight, we're going to get our power and mojo back, goddesses. And though everything is going on, 2020 is a very auspicious time for the divine feminine, because it is destined to be the rise of female leaders. And if you're in touch with what's happening with the Areti Goddess Events, there's a case study running, the 2020 case study for the rise of female leaders. And if you have an inspiring story to share, get in touch, because it will inspire other goddesses as well. And let's move on now, because there are so many things and factors that can make us feel powerless. And there's no denying that. You know, when you look at natural disasters, world events that are happening right here, right now, pain, disease that can immobilize us and make us feel powerless, as well as other people, and of course ourselves, because know it or not, we do give our power away, even if we don't think that we do. And once again, I have pulled out a goddess card for us, and I'm going to read that out later. So stay tuned for that, because it's another great one for us goddesses this week. And what I'm going to move through now are some tips to give you your power back, and to describe to you and explain to you why we do feel powerless at times, or for some of us, most of the time. And the first tip I have for you is to ask yourself the question, where is your attention? Is your attention focused on what is happening, what has happened, or is it focused on what is right in front of you? Can you look at it without judgment, without emotion, and see what your possibilities are? My tip to you is to look at what is possible for you at the moment, what the possibilities for you are, and become resourceful and allow yourself to be filled with inspiration, so that you can make lemonade out of lemons, as the saying goes. My second tip is related to the first tip, and it is the past versus the future. Now, most of us wake up worried about what's happening, what's happened, worried about ourselves. In fact, 85 or 87% of us, I think, actually wake up feeling bad every single day, which is terrible, right? Now, the thing about looking into the past, every time we look into the past, a past event or someone that we have an emotional charge with, we bring that past right into the present and into the future. The trick is to look at the now, to bring yourself to the moment. And you can do that by breathing deeply and slowly. Bring yourself to the moment. Notice what is actually around you at any given time, and create from the present, not the past. That is a way that you can actually regain your power. And number 3 in my list of tips for you today is to realize that you have choices. Even when you think that you don't have choices, every single thing is a choice, and it's about making conscious choices, and that will empower you. So basically, it is becoming mindful of the choices we make and their consequences. Every choice does have a consequence, and we make a million choices every day, even though some choices are automatic. Like, for instance, drinking a cup of coffee, for instance, or, whatever we do, brushing our teeth is a fairly automatic thing we do. We're programmed to do every single day, but it's a choice. And the fact of the matter is, we are all brought into this earth with free will, and we do have choices, even when we think we don't. Even when there's a gun against your head, there are still choices that you can make. So become conscious of the choices you are making. Number 4 is realizing that we cannot control people, places, or things. Now, regardless of the chaos that's going on in the world right now, one thing that we can always control is ourselves and our own reactions to things. So, when we realize that we cannot control people, places, or things, we can complain about them, but it doesn't really help the situation. What we can control is our own reaction. In fact, not a reaction, because that's based on emotion, but response. When you remove emotion from the equation, and choices. So when we control our own responses, our choices, and the action that we take, then we become empowered. My next tip to you is to ask the right questions. For instance, asking, how did this happen? Why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Is not going to help you. Again, looking at the situation as it is what it is. Then you can ask, what now? And that will fill you up with resources, inspiration, and then again, you can claim your power. It's all about taking our power back. The next tip I have for you is to feel your feelings. So many of us stop feeling, and the fact of the matter is, our feelings also pass. But feeling our feelings is the way to move forward. So always feel your feelings. Now, when we're talking about disease or pain that actually immobilizes you, I encourage you to talk to your disease or pain and find out what it needs for you. What is it doing for you? What does it need from you? Now, this does take some work, and if you don't know how to do it, perhaps working with someone to do this. But actually address your pain, your disease, and ask it what it's all about. And then you can release it. The next tip I have for you is to create a brand new you. So in terms of empowering yourself, there's nothing better you can do. And on this, I recommend you watch the video on creating a brand new you and the steps to take to make that happen. But creating a brand new you, especially when you're riddled by pain and disease, and it is bearing you powerless, is the best thing you can do. Because once you change your neural pathways, once you create new neural pathways, you can actually create a new reality for yourself and a brand new you. That is as empowering as anything I will share with you today. The next tip I have for you is to take physical actions. Physical actions that are quite energetic and quite symbolic in their way. So, for instance, when you have a piece of rubbish, you throw it in the rubbish bin. Just as you throw a piece of rubbish in the rubbish bin, you can throw your powerlessness away. You can throw it away, you can write it on a piece of paper, you can burn it, you can actually put your powerlessness in the fridge. All those physical actions will actually help you. So a lot of those symbolic actions that we take, just know that just as we can be rid of physical things, we can also be rid of emotional things as well. The next tip I have for you is to state your intentions. Now, here is a great example of stating your intentions. When you wake up and you download everything in your diary, as you do this, you can state your intention that you're releasing it every single day, and that will empower you. The thing is that so often as people, and this is my next tip, We give our power away. You will notice this most predominantly in relationships, especially for women. We tend to do this a lot. When we actually really love someone, we tend to give them all our power. And we do this by thinking about them 24/7, by actually submitting ourselves to another person entirely, giving our power to that person. Now, when the relationship is actually new and you give that power away to that other person, you'll notice that other person will tend to move away because they don't want our power. And the reason they don't want our power is because our power actually belongs to us. It's not supposed to be given away. And a lot of the time we give our power away to other people. For instance, when we think of an argument we had with someone or a conflict we're having with someone else, we're immediately bringing them into the present and giving our power away. So it's all about conscious thought. It's all about perception and the choices we make consciously. I hope that empowers you today, because Goddess, it is time to take our power back and rise. That is why our hashtag is hashtag Goddess Rise. So I encourage you to use that, even in social media. Hashtag Goddess Rise. This is our year, and it's our year to claim goddesses. Now, as I promised, I'm going to read our goddess card for you this week, and it's the beautiful Eve. So this is the goddess card for us this week. The word Eve means life. The goddess Eve is the mother and nurturer of all life. She's the creator of the world and of all living beings, lady of the beasts and steward of all growing things. Even in the Bible, she's portrayed with a snake, a potent symbol of the vital life force found in every living being, representing rebirth and regeneration. In one of the Gnostic texts, it is Eve who calls Adam to life. Eve is the embodiment of primal, female, creative energy, of the powerful urge to create and sustain life. She is active femininity and relatedness to all that lives. She is life itself. So Goddess says, I encourage you to rise up, join this amazing movement, because this is our time. And with this, I will sign off now until next time, wishing you amazing success always. And if you are struggling, please book in a free coaching call with me. Namaste.